everybody, and welcome back to the Illumination Spotlight video series. I am Nancy Matthews, and I'm delighted to introduce you today to one of our Spotlight experts. These videos are designed to be quick little shots to give you some inspiration, education, so you can move forward with your life and business. And today we have with us Susan D. Robertis. She is brilliant when it comes to money, and and her business is known as Venus in Transit. Welcome, Susan.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. It's thrilling to be here with you as always. Thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure to feature you, because I've had the opportunity to speak with a couple of women that we've actually referred to you as clients, and they sing your praises. So I'm excited you're here and going to give us some tips. But before we get started, we're going to do our lightning round question series. And I've got 3 questions so that people can start to get to know you a little bit. So my first question is, Susan, when you were a little girl, what did you dream of becoming or being?
Well, this was more about making stuff happen. I was always, thinking, and my grandmother used to call me the conniver. I was always making up stuff and creating stuff. And it was difficult for my parents and my grandparents to keep track of me. But the greatest thing I did when I was 10 was I got the neighborhood kids together and we put on the production. I was the producer, of course, of The Wizard of Oz. And I played Dorothy, and I sang and I acted. And the biggest thing was to get everyone together and have fun. And I love creating things. I always got my friends together and to do stuff. It's like, okay, what are we doing now? And then I would, say what we were doing. And this turns out to be what I do in life. I'm an entrepreneur. I've created 3 businesses, and they're all about creating joy, happiness, freedom, money, for women. And I just love being the ringleader.
And you are the ringleader. You definitely are. It's so funny because when we were kids, I used to put on shows in my backyard as well.
Yes. Oh, it's funny.
Yeah. We have a lot in common. We both love music, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Awesome. So good. All right. So question number 2 in the lightning round series. Speaking of The Wizard of Oz, which one of those characters in that story do you most relate to?
Well, I am Glenda the Good Witch. So this was actually, I played that character in a summer camp, and it was fabulous fun. And that's a very endearing character to me, because she showed Dorothy, she pointed her in the direction that she needed to go, which was here. Right. And that she always had the power. You've always had the power. And she showed her that she could go home anytime. And home is here, and wherever you create it.
Right. And so I love that that's what you really do when you're coaching and working with women, especially transitioning through divorce. I know when I went through my divorce, I kind of lost myself somewhere in the process.
Yes, that's true. And I'm divorced too. I went through my own process. I went through it. And, having a Glenda the Good Witch around is a really great thing. If you can have one, grab one. You don't want to do this alone. But it was wonderful that it's like segued into the business that I created, which is Venus in Transit, which is all about women in transition. And divorce is the biggest life-changing event for a woman, aside from getting married. This on the other end, if unfortunately you find yourself there or choose it, this is a big event.
And we're going to get to some some tips for supporting some of our viewers who might be going through that in just a minute. But my last question on the lightning round is, what was your favorite vacation of all time?
Well, I've traveled all over the world. My very favorite is when we had a mother and daughter's trip to Paris for 1 week, where my sister Debbie and I treated my mom. We took her on by her standards. Everything is top shelf, 4 stars, the whole 9 yards. It was, oh, it was really fun and a little hysterical because we all stayed in one big suite. So you can imagine 1 week with your mom and your sister, you know, in one big room. And there were a lot of, it was a lot of fun, a lot of, a lot of
A lot of
things,
laughter,
a lot of laughs, a lot of tears. And it was really memorable, and it was for my mother's 85th birthday, and then a few years after that, you know, she did die. So both Deb and I, you know, we are so happy that we did that.
yeah,
You know,
great
because
memory.
that was a big wish of hers. She wanted to go to Paris and go to the gardens of Givenchy.
Beautiful. You know, and
Yeah.
as I'm listening, and as I ask you these lightning
Mm,
round questions, every
yeah.
single answer that you gave, what came through was your passion and joy that you get from bringing joy to other people. And I know
Um,
that's what you do with your work and your clients. And as we're
mm,
talking about women going through divorce, that's one of the most difficult times. You know, we can feel like, you know, a failure, you know, oh, I
yeah.
don't want, I failed at marriage, you know, I'm not good
Mm,
enough. These are some of the things that I felt when I went
yeah.
through it. So,
Mm,
so what kind of tips can you give? Because I know it's part of your essence. If
mm.
there's someone watching right now that's, you know, maybe unsure about how the money's going to work out, or maybe he's afraid to leave because they don't know. Um, 3
Mhm.
tips to really help that woman move forward and find her joy again.
Yeah, yeah, so important. Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, divorce can be scary. It's terrifying when, especially when you want to leave and you don't know how, and you don't know how to get it all together. You don't even know if you can do it. The most important thing is to have a support team. You want to have people who are there for you, and that is an attorney, of course. You can also go through mediation. That depends on your situation. And I am a certified divorce mediator. So if anyone has any questions on that, you know, reach out.
Yeah, I didn't know
And
that. I learned
yeah,
too about
yeah, I am. And I went through mediation in my own divorce, and I was so impressed with the, you know, the speed in which this whole process took place, and the way it was all wrapped up. I worked with the attorney who was also the mediator, and I'm also an accountant, so I get numbers. So I did all the schedules in my divorce. I basically laid everything out, listed everything. I walked my husband through it. Now, if you are not able to do that, I can walk you through it so that you can walk through it. And that's the way that goes. You need a support team. You don't have to do this alone. You need someone who knows the ropes financially and emotionally, because you have to make decisions that are going to affect you for the rest of your life. And it's really important that you be grounded and you feel safe and you know that you're going to land on your feet and be taken care of.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
And learn how to take care of yourself in many
Yeah,
cases as well.
absolutely.
All right, great
Absolutely.
tip. Get a power team in place. All right, number 2.
Yep. Number 2 is know what you want and
Mhm.
know what you need. So a lot of people, a lot of women, they have no idea what they're going to need once they are divorced. Well, where am I going to live, and what's that going to be, and where, and how does it look like? And, you know, you're only able to take one step at a time in this process, and that is further down the road. However, you are going to have to know these things in order to ask and negotiate for what you will be needing. And even though someone may offer you a whole bunch of money, 500,000, or sounds like a lot, but is that really your number? You need to know your number, and what you want and what you need may be 2 different things. So we go over that, and that's crucial, crucial,
Yes.
crucial that you have that information.
Well, and again, I think it goes to, if I'm in the midst of this, chances are
Mm-hmm.
I'm emotionally distraught. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
the capacity for the critical thinking that
Yeah.
it would really
Right.
take to create those projections. And I don't know what I don't know, which is where an expert
Mm-hmm.
like you comes in. All right,
Yeah.
good. All right, number 3.
Number 3 is don't be afraid to say yes to yourself. You know, I speak to so many women who they hire the attorney 1, 2, 3, and they think that, all right, I'm done. That's all I need. No, you're not going to be calling up your attorney for any financial information, or if you need to discuss how to make a decision here, or where are you going, what are you doing. You don't call up your girlfriends. You call someone who is a professional and who has specific knowledge about this major event in your life, and you want to be knowledgeable that this is a temporary major event. This doesn't go on for eons, 20 years.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. My divorce was less than a year because I was focused.
Right.
I had a plan. I had a support team, and I was going to have this happen because I wanted my marriage to be completed. So it did. So I work with clients, women who want to go through divorce, and so that we're on a path. And every divorce has its circumstances that are different. There's all these little things that are unique to your situation, but the mindset is so important, and to be able to make clear decisions that support you rather than just off the top of your head, or don't make decisions at all. So you have to say,
or just get stuck, right?
Or get stuck, yeah. So to say yes to having a support team, to have someone walk with you down this path.
Awesome. All right, and I know that's what you do. So for all of our viewers out there watching this Spotlight series, I would imagine if you're in this situation or thinking about it or still recovering from it, reach out to Susan. She is extraordinary. I highly, highly recommend her as an expert, not only as a coach, but she's got all those nuances of how to manage the money. I love how you said financially and emotionally being prepared for something like this. So how do they get in touch with you? And do you have a free gift for everybody today too?
Oh yeah. So please go to my website. The free gift is on my website. So it's www.susandrobertis.com.
Awesome.
Right underneath my picture, I'm on the couch looking at you, and right underneath that picture, it'll say what to do when Prince Charming isn't coming, and that is my free gift to you. You click on that, and also if you'd like to speak with me, there's also the opportunity to do that on my website as well.
Awesome.
That's of course your choice, and it's available to you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. We've been hearing from Susan D. Robertis, also known as Venus in Transit, also known as Glenda the Good Witch.
That's so funny.
I know, it's so true. Like just sprinkling that magic and bringing that power back to where it is. I love it.
Yeah.
So thank you for being with us today.
Yep, my pleasure.
And thank you,
Nancy.
My pleasure. Thank you to all our viewers. Be sure to check back for the next edition of the Illumination Spotlight series. Have an awesome day, everybody. Thank you, Susan.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome.
Okay.